What's going on, guys? My name is Nick and welcome to Olsen Auto. If you don't know who I am, I have a lot of motorcycles. I'm buying another tomorrow. I got a lot of dirt bikes, a lot of cars. So I always try to make videos working on something or driving something, riding videos, everything like that. So if that interests you, be sure to hit that subscribe button so you can be updated every time I upload. It also helps my channel out a lot, guys, if you go ahead and drop a like and comment. Tell me what you like and tell me what you dislike. But without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to tell you guys 5 things every dirt bike, dual sport, or supermoto rider should have in a backpack before they go out riding. These things are either for emergencies or if you just need it, maybe your phone died. We're going to get into everything that I keep in a backpack. Now, of course, if you're going out to a track and you have a truck and trailer, this doesn't really apply because you're going to be packing this stuff on a mass scale. More food, obviously more water, stuff like that. So, for starters, this is a $10 OGIO or OGIO backpack from Rocky Mountain ATVMC. I'll go ahead, I'll try to find a link and leave this in the description. Like I said, I paid $10 for it. And when I used to race Netra, which is the New England Trail Riders Association, they would always give out $10 gift cards. So the backpack was free, but again, it's only 10 bucks. So if you guys want it, I've had it for over a year, maybe 2 years now. Thing holds up great, so I have no complaints. We're gonna start off with the one thing that I find to be most important, and I always keep it in this big pouch right here. And that's water. Now, I'm going riding later tonight. I'm going to be riding some trails. Of course, nighttime riding, you want to be careful, make sure your bike has a headlight and whatnot. But in any case, no matter what style of riding you're doing, you're going to want to bring water because hydration is probably the most important thing when you're riding. You can ride when you're hungry, sure. You can ride when you're tired, not recommended. But you cannot ride when you're thirsty. You're gonna pass out, especially if it's hot out, and that's the worst thing you can have happen. So I carry 2 water bottles on me for shorter trips or road trips if I'm going down the road. In this case, I'm pretty much going down the road to the trails, and the trails aren't that long, or at least we're not riding that long of a trail, so I just have 2 water bottles. I also like to keep a Camelback, which is a 2-liter. It's just a big sack of water essentially, and you can just put it in any backpack or get the proper bladder holder. It depends on what you're doing. I'll usually take the Camelback if I'm going racing and I can't stop. But for just general use, 2 water bottles is a great amount to bring. Of course, if it's hotter out, you're gonna want to bring more. So relating to water, you're gonna want to bring some food. Now, of course, these are just 2 rough examples of things you should bring. Obviously, we have the best flavor of granola bar, oats and dark chocolate. Everybody knows that it's the best flavor. So we have that. And then we also have some crackers. Guys, these are just salty so that you can get a little salt in your system. And they're kind of filling, which is what you want when you're riding. You're not looking to eat a massive meal. You're looking for a little snack to hold you over. Of course, if you're going on a longer ride, you're going to pack more food. I recommend trail mix, raisins, maybe an apple if you have the room for it. I can't eat fruit because I have braces because I'm basically still a child. But anyway, Ritz crackers, granola bars, trail mix, it's all good food. You don't want to bring Twinkies, although I kind of do. You do want to bring Twinkies, you shouldn't bring Twinkies. So that's some of the food I would recommend bringing. Now, as far as the next most important thing, this is my little emergency pack. It's mostly first aid stuff, and then there's also a lighter in there just in case you have to start a fire for whatever reason, or if you need to sterilize something. A lighter and heat is a great way of doing that. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to show you guys what's in this little homemade first aid kit. But I want to start off by saying you probably should just go buy a pre-made first aid kit because it'll have a lot more stuff. It'll have more gauze pads, it'll have more band-aids, more Neosporin, and it'll have a wider variety of different options, whereas this one is just what I threw together out of the little medical cabinet at my house. So these are very important, guys, especially for riding dirt bikes. Tweezers, in case you fall and you get hurt bad enough that you're actually performing first aid. These are great because you're able to actually reach in and pull out either pieces of dirt, broken glass, sticks, whatever may be in the open wound. These are great for pulling that stuff out. So any sort of tweezer works. Plastic is better for the reason that it won't actually hurt. You're not stabbing sharp metal into someone's hand on a rough wound. Although metal, you can actually heat it up and sterilize it to solder a wound shut if it's that bad. But if you're getting that deep, you should probably have already called 911. I also make sure to bring a lighter just in case you have to start a fire or you have to heat something up. You never know when you'll need it. It's so small, it's light. You won't even notice you have it, so why not bring it? Also have a bunch of different types of band-aids, guys. Obviously, you want to have band-aids. Tissues are pretty important as well. If you're riding in the cold, you're not going to want to have a stuffy nose. But also, they're similar to gauze, and gauze pad and medical tape are the two most important things you can keep in a first aid kit. Chances are most people who ride aren't going to want to just band-aid up a small little cut. They're just going to keep riding and not notice it. If it's bad enough that you're pulling out the first aid kit, it's bad enough to need a gauze pad. So what a gauze pad is, just a little absorbent thing. It helps create artificial blood clots. And I only have one in here, which is pretty bad. That's why I have the tissues. You should have a lot more. Fit as many gauze pads as you can and as much medical tape as you can, because this is like a band-aid on steroids. Another thing in the last part of the medical kit you're going to want to bring is Neosporin, just to disinfect something. I mean, I don't have to explain that much more. One of the other big things you're going to want to bring if you're going riding out in the woods is a small toolkit. This is actually the toolkit out of my Honda Shadow Bobber, super small and compact. Inside we have a spark plug wrench. We have a 10mm wrench. There's a few other goods in here, an Allen set as well, especially because a lot of the plastics on my dirt bike are held together by Allens. That's pretty important to have. You're also going to want to carry a ratchet. On it we have an 8mm, and then we also have a 10 and a 12mm. This should all together be enough to take all the plastics off, check if your air filter's dirty, check your spark plug, check a bunch of the basic essentials. Chances are, if it's much further than down in the plastics, it's probably too far to repair in the woods. So it's just good, you know, if your spark plug falls out somehow and doesn't tear out the threads, pop it back in if you're concerned that it's too loose or one of your plastics fell off. This is just a good little kit to go ahead and do that roadside repair. Now the last thing for this video, guys, is a portable phone charger. So this is a 20,000 milliamp hour battery charger. It can charge my iPhone XR about 10 times, I believe, which is more than enough. It also has a built-in flashlight, which you can't complain about. It's just awesome to have. If your phone dies when you're in the woods and something happens, you're in a really bad predicament. By carrying this, it weighs maybe a pound altogether, if that, maybe a half pound. Throw it in the bottom of your bag and forget about it. Just make sure it's charged every now and then, and you're good to go. One little honorable mention is a pocket knife. Now this isn't just good for stabbing people. This is amazing if you have to do a roadside fix. Maybe if you have to cut up something. So this basically works for everything. It can get you food, it can get you water, it can help heal you if you're in need of first aid, it can fix the bike. This is the ultimate tool. One last honorable mention, just because I forgot to mention it in my toolkit, is I always carry zip ties. Zip ties are God's blessing to the automotive enthusiasts of this earth. Whether you have to fix wiring or hold on your engine jug with zip ties, you can probably do it. So I recommend bringing 10 or 20 zip ties, something small. You never know when you'll need these. They're more helpful than just fixing the bike. You can use these for a lot of things. You can also use them for first aid, but that's a little sketchy. I'll zip tie wiring, but boy, if I'm zip tying gauze to my broken finger, we got a problem. But I think that's gonna wrap up this video. If you guys have any questions or comments, be sure to leave them down below. If you wanna know maybe there's something else you should bring, or if you have some advice for something that maybe I'm not packing, please let me know, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, be sure to hit the like button, comment something down below, whether you liked the video, hated the video, wanna see more riding, wanna see more how-tos, be sure to let me know. Also, be sure to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so that every time I upload, you'll be notified. I upload 3 times a week on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, all at 12 p.m., so be sure to check those out. But like I said, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.